We've come today to Arden Hall, to my local railway show. Let's go and see what's on. This first layout I came across is an Irish-based prototype from the mid-50s to the early 60s. There's a lot of locos here which look sort of British Rail but aren't quite. It seemed to be a DCC layout with lots of sound and lots of noise, and a lot of detail and effort had clearly gone into the scenery and the work. My camera missed most of this railway, sadly, and was still playing up when I was videoing these trams. However, fortunately I went back and took a longer series of them. This is the excellent 1/16th scale models of Streatley Road trams based in the Birmingham Corporation Transport. They're a super size and it's very simple layout but wonderfully detailed. Tucked away on the stage was this Hornby 003 rail, Binslow. Wonderful to see period stuff. This layout didn't actually have anything moving when I was on it, but it's an SM32 Heathcliff Quarry Railway, which is a radio controlled layout. Very lots of detail. This was a G-scale railway called Hafenstadt. It depicts a small scene somewhere in Germany, but the DCC sound was quite effective and I liked the smoke. Quite a compact railway, despite the fact that it was quite a large scale. It was interesting seeing the little tiny locos shuffle around with the stock. Henley and Arden is a real prototype, but it closed long before this layout was actually in operation, so it's a sort of might have been. An O-gauge layout with lots of detail but proprietary stock. Lovely to look at, very period looking and very reminiscent of the South Warwickshire style it evokes. This 009 layout had lots and lots of detail and quite a simple track plan, but is based upon the Mid-Wales narrow gauge railway. It models the Welsh prototype rolling stock, as well as a whole host of vehicles along the streets which were a delight to watch. Small Town is a rather unusual HOE 3.5mm scale layout, which depicts a narrow gauge in the Californian area. Lots and lots of detail. I love the cowboy chasing the cows down the main street, and the 50s garage with all the Thunderbirds queuing to fill up their gas guzzling tanks. The next layout was really interesting. A 1/160th scale model running on Z-gauge track with 3D printed bodies. This represented meter gauge in France. Very interesting to look at. You could lose yourself in this tiny little scene, which is called Blackbrook Halt. This 00 layout is based in the Black Country. Tiny little layout with lots of shunting capabilities, as well as a little branch line at the top. It was interesting to see West Bromwich Albion being supported on the bridge, and lots of other little details plastered all over the layout which took ages to actually watch. So much so you never really saw the large plastics tiger that was hiding behind the wall for the kiddies to spot during the show. Happy Holidays was a Triang 00 type based buildings and layouts with 3 engines running round the loops constantly, so there was always lots to see. It was a celebration of Rail 200, but I particularly liked the display of posters, railway posters of course, all the way around the outside of the layout. New layout, I suspect, purely for this year. Finally, we have a youth modelling layout depicting Teresa Green. Thomas has come to visit, but it ran well.
Not such a busy show at Water Orton today, but still plenty to see. Some nice layouts and some good traders. One thing from my favourite trader, this Mark IV coach, at a very bargain £14, took my fancy. I love that.